Hi guys, welcome to my channel Autumn in Bloom. My name is Autumn and this is where I will be sharing my newfound passion for plants with you. I'll be sharing helpful tips and simple tricks that I am learning along the way. You'll get to grow with me as I learn, experiment, and turn my space into a cozy green haven, one plant at a time. Hi guys, and welcome back to Autumn in Bloom. Today I thought we'd do a fun little video. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to repot a couple of little cuttings that I had, and then I thought it'd also be fun to try out planting a spider plant from seeds. I have a giant spider plant in my kitchen, and even though I didn't pollinate it myself, somehow it did get pollinated, and we got some seeds from it, which is kind of cool. So I did a little bit of background research to kind of see just, how I'm supposed to plant them, things like that. So I thought we'd give that a go today. I do have a baby spider plant here from my mother plant. However, this was based off of just propagating, so just taking off, little baby spider plants and then popping them in a container. As you can see, it's doing really, really, really good. See all the giant roots that it has, and really this one's doing great. But now that I've done it from, tiny baby plant propagations, I do want to try it from seeds, which I think will be kind of fun. So today we're going to do that. As you can see, I have collected a couple of little seed, I don't know, I guess like not containers, but little seeds here from the mother spider plant. I'll insert a picture of her just so you can see how big she is. But she's constantly pushing out baby spider plants, and then, like I said, randomly some seeds as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to plant those up today, and then I do have a surprise couple of cuttings in here that we are now going to put in sphagnum moss because they have gotten big and they're starting to push off leaves, which is really, really fun. So yeah, give me just a second to go put this little baby back where it belongs in the windowsill, and then we'll come back to repot the rest of them. Okay, so we are back, and like I said, I have this moss here for the clippings that are in here. But first we're going to go ahead and start. Actually, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start with the seeds first. I'm going to take the seeds out of their little, again, I can't think of the right word for it, but like not containers, but little capsules. And then we will see what they look like. I did watch a couple videos online to see what the potential seeds should look like when they come out. And apparently some people say you should wait until they're a little bit bigger, as well as you can kind of see, I guess, I don't know if you're able to pick this up on camera. Where's the camera at? Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna be able to pick this up on the camera, but basically you can kind of start to see the seeds through the outside when they're nice and big in there and ready. I can kind of see it when I'm by like a window and the light is like shining straight through it. But if that's not really happening, it's almost impossible to see, honestly. Um, so I just picked a couple of different sizes, and I'm just hoping that some of them are ready to be popped into some soil. I will say there was a couple other ones on the plant that I ignored for too long, and they actually opened and the seeds are now gone. So I'm assuming the seeds fell back into the plant. So I guess we will be getting some new spider plant babies at some point when they are, you know, in the soil and ready to go. What I will say that I have heard about the little seeds is actually my spider plant is variegated, as you saw, the little baby one that I just showed you. But when you plant seeds, what happens is actually it comes up all green. So there's no variegation to it. I don't know how true that is, if that's 100% true all the time. But if it is, we're going to get some cute little, just completely green spider plants, which will probably honestly just look like grass, which is fine. Just something I kind of want to try and just to kind of see what that's gonna, be like. So I'm gonna see if I can just kind of snap these open. And I'm sorry if you don't have like the best view of what's going on. I'll try to zoom so that maybe we can get a little bit closer here. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of try to snap them open. Okay, interesting. So this one definitely probably was not ready. But there is some seeds in here, but they are very, very small. I don't know if you can see them. Oh my god, I'm not even in the camera. That's annoying. I don't know if you can see them. I'm trying to see how I can get this to focus for you guys. They're very, very small though. They're like the little black seeds. From the other video I watched, they're supposed to be bigger than that. So these ones, like I said, probably were not ready to get ripped out of their comfy little homes. But alas, we are here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to drop the seeds into a second little area. Even if they aren't ready, that's okay. We're just going to go with the flow here. Like I said, they're already out of their little capsules, so there's no going back now. If they grow, they grow. If not, you know, a learning experience, I guess. So if I could just get them out. I fear this is going to be the hardest part of the entire video, is just getting these stupid seeds out. So I might just kind of fast forward through this part, just so you guys don't have to sit here and struggle with me while I do this. Okay. Wow, that was quite the struggle. Not gonna lie, didn't expect it to be that difficult to take them out. I honestly don't think it's supposed to be that difficult to take them out because from the videos I watched, they just kind of popped out. So I think honestly, a lot of these might not even be ready to be planted, which is kind of sad because I just went through all that effort to get them out. But we're gonna try anyway because you never know. You know, in the wild, everything doesn't always happen, you know, in a perfect time schedule. So we're just gonna pop these into some perlite and basically just see kind of what happens. On the video that I watched, the guy did say it took almost like 3 weeks for him to see sprouts. So this is going to be a very slow process, I presume, and it might be even slower if these were not ready to be propagated. So we will see what happens. But yeah, these are what the little seeds look like. As you can see, I got a good amount. Um, you know, nothing terrible. And, you know, even if just one of these grows, it's better than nothing. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and put these to the side because the container I'm actually going to pop them in currently has the other cuttings that I was talking about before. So we're going to go ahead and get that stuff ready first to move those cuttings out and then pop these guys in. As you can see, they were attached to some small baby plants. I did, however, just propagate, like I said, all those other smaller spider baby plants. And then on top of that, I had like a second wave. And what I did is I live in a apartments building, so we have kind of like a free table. And what I did was I just put a bunch of them down there to see if anybody wanted them, and they were gone. So I assume somebody took them. If not, they went in the trash, which is sad, but you know, can't always propagate every single cutting and everything from every single plant. So anyways, let's get on with the next one. So these ones I'm very excited about because I have been waiting a minute for these ones to push something off, but now that they did, I'm very excited. So if you watched my last video, I know it's been a very long time since I've uploaded something, but I did a video on my pink princess philodendron that was not looking too hot. I chopped her up and put her into water prop, as well as I just did some wet sticks into some perlite, which is what I have in this box. And basically, they all took off really, really well. I did pop a third option into some soil. That one just wasn't like doing it for me, didn't look super great, still looked like it was struggling just a little bit. So I actually threw that one away the other day. Um, However, the water prop ones are doing fantastic. I will show you them after this. And obviously these ones, which I will show you right now, are doing great too. I don't know if actually you can see or if it's focusing or not. Let's see. There we go. So as you can see, this one has a new leaf here. It's pushing off some new leaves here, as well as this one has a new leaf here. So obviously doing really, really well. Like I said, I just kind of left them in here and hadn't touched them for, I'd say it's been over a month now. But yeah, great growth. They are also putting out tons of roots. But since we are getting some leaves coming off now, I do want to pop them into something that doesn't have a colored lid, because I do think that is, obviously going to impede their growth at some point, because they do need light. And I would like to pop them into my shelf where I have all my other props. Just because the lighting is better. It's, obviously with grow lights, and it is right next to the humidifier, so it is also like the perfect, most humid, most sunlit spot in my entire apartment. So yeah, we're gonna do that, but I am still gonna keep them semi-covered. So what I did is I actually have these really, really tiny ones. I'm gonna fill them up with sphagnum moss on the bottom, and obviously a bottom, container like that. And then I'm going to put them in there, and I'm going to put one of these lids on top, so it's kind of like a little enclosed capsule. Obviously it's not as airtight as this container, but I do think it is a good initial kind of introduction to some not as humid air. And then slowly, as they get bigger, I might take off the bottom so that they have the holes at the bottom to kind of breathe a little bit, and then eventually the lid will come off once they get bigger. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set these aside really quick, and I'm just going to keep them covered. And then, like I said, I have some sphagnum moss here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my hands in here really, really good. Nice and, squishy. Squishy, squishy. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze. So it's like a damp sponge. That is the consistency people say to go for. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Squeeze some more. Pop that in there like that. Okay, that's a good amount, and I want to still be able to close the lid, which is my main thing here. But basically, actually, let me get some of this perlite off. It loves to just like stick. It's very, very sticky. That is the one thing that I am always shocked at with this, is how well it grabs onto things and doesn't want to let go. But I don't know if you can see. I'm going to try to get the best I can. There we go. You see, I think it's potentially, I can't tell. Hold on. Give me a second to adjust the camera. Hello. I don't know why it's not focusing for me. That's super annoying. There we go. Okay, so you can see some roots. You see that root there as well. So there are roots coming off of this, which is really exciting. This one actually has less roots than I thought it did. I hadn't taken it out of the container yet. So this one doesn't have too many roots, which makes me a little nervous. But like I said, since it's already pushing off a leaf, I do want to get it into a container where it can see the sunlight. So we're going to hope for the best here. And what I'm going to do is, because the leaf is pointing that way, I am just going to kind of set it in there just like this. I'm just going to kind of, actually, because there's no leaf anywhere else, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of stick it in like that, perhaps. So that way the leaf is pointing up. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. Great, fantastic. We love that for you guys. I don't know why my camera is being so crazy today with the zooming and the everything else. Okay, so what I did was I basically just wrapped it up like a little baby. As you can see, it's sticking out there. We are still above, you know, the thing, which is great, so we can start getting some light onto that leaf. But also all the roots are pretty much buried in this moss now, which is also ideal. And hopefully we'll just go ahead and take off. So like I said, I'm going to add a bottom thing on top, a bottom thing on the bottom, and a lid-ish thing on top that is clear so we can get plenty of light in there. And yeah, we will revisit this soon, hopefully, and we'll see some significant growth now that we're going to be in the light. This next one is going to be for this other cutting. Now, this other cutting is a little bit bigger, so I'm kind of going back and forth how I should fully do this one. However, I think it'll be okay. So I'm just gonna kind of put some of that there. And don't worry, I do have more moss if I need it. I just want to make sure that everything is covered. Okay, so this one, this is my beefy boy. And the reason I say that is because this one, unlike the other one, has some pretty good roots on it. I'm trying to be as gentle as I can. Like I said, this freaking perlite sticks so much that it's like, let go. But it doesn't want to. It likes to stay as attached as it can. Okay. So just ignore my perlite covered fingers. Okay, so for this one, oh, how exciting. This one looks so good. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this one, focus, camera focus. Look at all those roots. That's actually crazy. And this one has 3 leaves on it, which is also really exciting. 4 actually, I guess if we count this on this other side. But lots and lots of roots. The only thing I'm a little confused about is because the leaves are kind of all coming off, I guess not so much in different directions, but kind of on the similar side as the roots. I don't know if I should plunk it in just like this, or if I should just take the L on this leaf and stick it in like this. I don't know. I think I'm just going to lay it down like this. See what happens. Worst case scenario, I can always kind of, you know, maneuver it if need be. But yeah, so I'm just going to do that. And then on the parts that I see there's roots, I am just going to try to cover those in moss so that hopefully it can continue to grow these beautiful, beautiful roots that it has going for it right now, because it looks good. It looks really good, and we love that. And this is grossing me out. What is this? Oh, I don't know why, but that little piece of moss just really grossed me out. Okay, then try to just think of something else so that I don't get too grossed out by what I just touched. Even though it wasn't really gross, it just, I don't know. Just gave me the heebie-jeebies. So, perfect. And then, like I said, I have another leaf coming in on that other side over there. I think it's a leaf and not a root, so I'm going to do my best not to fully cover that. But yeah, so just going to squeeze out a little bit more. Just want to make sure the environment is nice and cozy for it. Perfect, 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 perfect. Okay. Ignoring my, again, hands that are covered, you can see one of the leaves there popped up. This one right here is popping up, and then that last one way over here is so tiny is popping up. But yeah, so I just covered all the rooted areas. I laid it down flat. We'll see if that's what works best for it. Hopefully, like I said, when we do a recap in a couple weeks, these have really taken off. But I'm gonna set it in a tray there, cover it on top here, and I'll probably honestly maybe tape it just so it doesn't fall off immediately. Or maybe I'll just stack them well, I guess I can't stack them because then they're not getting light. But yeah, I will make sure that those lids don't fall off. Okay, now I'm trying to do minimal cuts in this video because whenever I do cuts, I feel like it takes me too long to try to fix the video, and then I don't end up uploading it because it's taken so long. Or I just don't ever get around to it. So sorry if this is kind of like jumping from one thing to the other and there's like awkward pauses. I'm just trying to get the next thing ready so that I can continue on with the same video. Okay, so this is the container that obviously the sticks were just growing in. I was gonna put the seeds in soil. However, I don't have any soil at the moment. I'm waiting on some soil, but because they're seeds, I feel like I'm just gonna kind of play around with it and just pop them in the perlite. Worst case scenario, they don't grow, you know, which is not that serious because I already have a bunch of spider plants and this is my first time using seeds, so we will see. Obviously you can grow spider plants in a lot of things like water as a medium. You can grow it in perlite, you can grow it in pond, you can grow it in regular soil. Yeah, you can just grow it. Sorry, I just zoned out. You can grow it in a lot of different things. So I think why not try it in this? I don't know. I guess we'll find out if it's a horrible idea, or if this is a horrible idea. Somebody maybe in the comments tell me. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle. If I could pick them out, that would be great. I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle them in here. And like I said, it's tough because there we go. That actually might be easier if I just kind of. I don't even know if these are necessarily ready yet to be potted up or attempted to sprout. I do think there was like one or two that looked pretty good because the leaves feel pretty firm, or the seeds felt pretty firm and came out kind of easy. So I'm hoping that at least those ones take off. Like I said, worst case scenario, they don't, which, like, let's be honest, I probably don't need another spider plant anyway. But I just thought it'd be kind of cool to see what they look like from seeds and just to be able to say, hey, yeah, I've done that before, you know? We like to just try things around here for fun because why not? Okay, so I'm just going to kind of, I don't really know if I should cover them in the perlite. I'm not really sure. But we're just going to kind of do this little thing where I'm just kind of, not like burying them, but, you know, keeping them nice and kind of more so in the perlite than just like resting on top, because I feel like for moisture reasons they might prefer being under it. And then what I'm going to do is I have like a little spray bottle that I mix root drops in with just normal water, and I'll use it to spray like my moss bowls and things like that, just because I try to give them that little extra boost. So I'm going to grab that really quick and just give this a good spray down. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Okay. Also, I have some new plants in my collection, which I will hopefully be making a video about at some point. But you know, for now, obviously, this will hopefully be the next video going up. But yeah, so I just spray it, give it a little good shake. Spray it some more because you know we want it nice and damp, but not soaked. And I'm just gonna knock off all this stuff from this lid. And then yeah, I'm just gonna pop this bad boy on here. Oop, there went a piece of perlite flying through the air. But yeah, so this is the container that they're gonna live in. And yeah, we'll see if there is any update in the next couple of weeks. How exciting. Yeah, so that one's done. And like I already showed you guys before, these ones are nice and potted up. Oh, and that's why I should probably tape the lid. But yeah, that leaf looks good in there. And then this other one as well. This one, smaller leaf. It's still there. You can see it right there. So yeah, we'll see how these guys do. And right before I leave, I'm going to show you the other pink princess that I was telling you about that I popped in water. And if you, like I said, have watched that video of me chopping it up and trying to save it. I did show a quick clip at the end of the roots in the water and everything like that. But look at them now, actually. Yeah, so you can kind of, oh, I'm really spilling water everywhere. So yeah, you can kind of see them. I can always take one out to show you, but I don't think I actually need to because you can see them pretty well from here. But yeah, all of them have rooted, which is very, very cool. As you can see, I'm actually getting new growth on this one. There is one plant that is definitely like bigger and beefier than the rest and has better roots and leaves. So that's the one that I'm probably going to take out and repot, just to kind of keep for myself. And then these other little ones, I'm probably just going to pot up in smaller containers and see if anyone in my building wants them. But yeah, very, very cool. Tons of roots, absolutely insane rootage, root growth on these. But yeah, so that's the update on the pink princess as well as some spider plant babies. I hope to see you in the next video, and hopefully it won't take as long to come out as this one did. Have a great day, guys. Bye.